and they're not. So they are breaking at an alarming rate. And Tesla does say if you go off-road, you should take these off so they don't get annihilated. But it's not just what you can see, it's also what lurks underneath. And I showed you in that tear apart video the issues that I saw underneath the frunk of the Cybertruck. But then another person has pointed out that the control arms, they do look very, very dinky, thin, small. I mean, this is it right here as far as the thickness. It is not thicker than my finger all the way across. And this is supposed to be an off-road vehicle. That is not a very beefy upper control arm. I'm going to show you on two other vehicles just for comparison's sake, starting with my Chevy 3500 van, so a nice beefy van here. The upper control arm, yes, it is smaller, but it is at least 1 finger thickness, and this isn't meant for any kind of off-roading at all, but you can see it is a thicker, beefier looking, at least, control arm. But then when you compare it to this purpose-built Ford Raptor, this off-roader here, you can see the upper control arm is pretty beefy as well, at least 1 finger thick on there, and then the lower control arm is absolutely massive. Obviously, this is built to go off-road and jump over 300,000 miles, and it has had some suspension work, but hasn't fallen apart on me yet. And you can see the suspension setup just makes the Cybertruck look like an absolute joke. Another thing that's having massive failure rates is this panel right here to open and close the rear hatch and the vault. You can stand on this, it will support your weight, but this button itself allows water to get in. I've seen it one time where it's all swelled up sort of like a pimple, and it still worked, but obviously water getting in there over and over again, it does lead to eventual failures, and there is a replacement for that. There's an electrical plug-in for it, and someone had theirs short out and melt all of this without any kind of warning light, apparently.